welcome to the AFL Today Show. That's right, I'm Kane Corns. Wait, no, I'm not Kane Corns. I've got a normal-sized head. My eyes are in the right spot. I'm also the best player of footy in my family. I'm Jaymz Clements. I'm the host of what? NBA Australia. You can see me on Fox Sports Lab NBA, some other stuff as well. This is the very first episode here of AFL Today. I'm joined by a couple of dudes we found wandering around in the office.
We're better than that.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Over there, we've got the stats guy, Liam McAllion. What's going on, Liam?
Oh, we just got lots to talk about. Footy's back. We're absolutely loving it. The pre-season games are lots going on, so we're absolutely loving it.
I'm just upset you stepped on my line, but that's okay. Leo, we've got the social guy. What's going on?
Yeah, feeling good, James. As Stats Guy said, footy's back, so I'm absolutely pumped.
God damn it. The line stepping. Anyway, it's all right. You're doing great. But basically, we're finally here, right? The pre-season is basically done when it comes to the AFL season. So we've got you pair of local nuffs in here to help us out, talk out all things AFL. Can you smell it though? Can you?
You can.
You could have smelled it last night.
We can smell it from here. The G's just over there. Two kicks.
Two kicks from here, off you go. But you can smell the fresh cut grass, the smack of leather on hands. Probably a couple of Dagwood dogs and that weird dude eating the avocado.
Yeah, that was weird.
Straight out of the...
I thought that was you. I feel like you would do
Straight
that.
out of the tin. I wouldn't do that. What are you talking about, Stats Boy? Anyway, pre-season is basically now, like we're in the last little tiny stretch where we've got all these community games. It was very good to see the AFL schedule a couple of, pretty big clubs for an underserved audience, both Tuesday and Wednesday of the community games. That's right. Collingwood and Richmond, Carlton, Melbourne playing in the heart of Melbourne.
Yeah. Just get it out to the regional.
Giving back to the community.
Yeah. It's called the community series, but we're just going to where the AFL.
There's like someone in Wagga just going, come on, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, these right over there.
Anyway, what vibes have we gotten from pre-season, gentlemen?
Sydney.
It's been a very, very Sydney-based pre-season, hasn't it? You got the dude who's in charge of Sydney going, we've got the biggest team in the world!
I know.
And you're like, settle down, mate. He's like, we're bigger than Collingwood!
He literally said that. He said, we've got more supporters than Collingwood. What is he on, that guy?
I think you might have more potential supporters than Collingwood because you have only two teams in one giant population centre.
They're a lot bigger than GWS. That's obviously not hard.
It's really not hard. I think, the East Keeler under 14s might be bigger than GWS, but that's okay.
They're the same colours, actually, yeah.
But the vibes that we've gotten from pre-season, everybody's on the Sydney bandwagon. Is that correct? How are you feeling this, Stats Boy?
Obviously, you got Brodie Grundy coming over there. I think him being the sole ruckman is just huge for Sydney. I think he's going to have an awesome year, get back to the All-Australian level. You got so many young guys, and just their depth they've shown over the last couple of years. You can't deny Sydney being right up there this year.
Yeah, I don't know. You get the best ruckman from the VFL, and here you are.
Yeah, well, you should not have been playing VFL. That's another story, yeah.
Sure. The other big one, North Ball.
Oh, I can't believe North are even
That's a direction you kick the ball. It's not a style of play. What are we doing here? North Ball? That's ridiculous. I'm going to talk about this again later.
Yeah, you're going to have a big rant
about that. That's called a teaser. But no, people have just jumped on the lid's off in North because they've beaten Collingwood.
Not for North fans like myself. I think we need to calm down a bit. Pre-season games, especially the match simulation ones, not the official pre-season ones. We beat Collingwood, but that doesn't count.
I think I saw a stat that they're the only undefeated team since like August 25 last year or something. So
not bad.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah. Flag groups.
Can't lose. We're not playing finals. Love that. Either way, love a bit of North Ball. Who are we spudding in this preseason so far? Obviously, the Eagles, they literally rolled out of bed.
That's an easy one.
And 85% of the team got injured.
Yeah. What's going on there? I think they've sacked a few of their conditioning guys, and then they still keep getting injured. I think we were talking about the other day, Leo. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in West Coast.
Is this all in the glue factory?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know what's going on there.
The coolest part I've seen, well, Peter Sumich tried to write something bad about Harley Reid and got fired.
Yeah, that was bad.
The most booming left kick in the West. The thing is, Harley Reid, he's moved in with Oscar Allen.
Yeah.
I love this. Oscar Allen, 2+ goals. That's his full name.
We forgot about that.
Where are the T-shirts?
Yeah, when you get the T-shirts
I think
this year.
Stats Guy stole all the T-shirts.
Yeah.
He's got a hoard of them at home. But Harley Reid moving in with Oscar Allen, I love that. It's, we need to talk some sense to the young boy. It's like, do we? I don't think
Oscar Allen's only a bit older as well.
He's the captain, Oscar Allen, but he's only like, 22?
Yeah,
maybe a little older.
Just a bit older, but not much. Yeah.
Still. I love it though. Harley Reid just wanders into that house like, finally, I've got a house to myself. Oscar Allen's like, all right, this is when the garbage goes out. Harley Reid's like, shut up, old man.
Yeah, I'm going to be the captain of West Coast now.
Starts choking him out. He's like, I'm the captain now. Look at me. I'm the captain now. I love it. But Oscar Allen seems like a good hang, but I reckon Harley Reid is definitely like the dude who's just going, like, you go for a few tins with Harley Reid, you're like, So how do we all get arrested? Don't know. Oscar Allen's like, we need to be in bed by 10.
Probably, yeah. There's a skipper, yeah.
Kind of my vibes. I like it.
But
But I do love Oscar Allen, 2+ goals. The other one's Spudden. If you're going to go by results,
In the preseason, yeah.
I don't know, the Bomb Rays.
One race.
I think this is a bit harsh, Jim.
Oh, yeah, I'll agree with that. Their team, I think, has gotten better.
Essendon lost their match sims by like a combined 247 million points. It was a bit worrisome.
Yeah.
I don't put much stock into match sims.
Sounds like you do.
Yeah, sounds like you are.
But for the simple fact that Essendon
It's
showed
Essendon,
absolutely
yeah.
nothing, it's way funnier to dump on them. So
That's true.
thank you, Essendon. My biggest point, though, is like they had this. So we talk about preseason vibes, right? This is what we're talking about.
Yep.
They brought in, as they tend to do every damn year, Adrian Doro wins every offseason, every trade.
I don't think he's ever won one.
He's just knocking. He's like an 8-time undefeated offseason champion, Adrian Dodoro. But then you have this simple idea that they stink every single year and haven't won a final since.
Oh,
2003?
2000, yeah, I was going to say 2003 or 4, yeah.
Amazing year. So my biggest point with Essendon, as you watch them, it just feels like they've got too many dudes.
That seems like a good thing.
Too many dudes. You're saying too many average dudes? Is that what you're getting at? Because I was going to say too many dudes is all right.
Too many mediocre average dudes.
Yeah.
It's like, we got Jade Gresham. It's like, was he that good?
Probably not.
He
I think
was.
Dersman's a
We
great
got
pick.
Ben Mackay. It's like,
Okay,
he
yeah.
was on the worst defense in the year AFL last year outside of West
It
Coast.
wasn't his fault it was coming in.
Oh, he's a linchpin of the defense. Yeah, he was a linchpin that sucked. What are we doing? It's chaos. Essendon, look, all they do each year is build up your hopes and then dash them quite expertly.
They are famous for that in recent history. I don't know. I think Dersman's a really good pickup. I think he's a really good player. I think he can turn into, or not yet, but I think he can turn into a really good player. He's still young. Ben Mackay, as you mentioned, they're paying him way too much. And then you got Gresham, could go either way. So
I think
yeah.
the improvement comes from the guys already on the list.
Yeah,
rather than
we were talking about
those
that before. Yeah, Nick
coming in,
Martin,
but yeah.
likes that.
I think Nick Martin, Sam Durham, those kind of guys.
Essendon are one of those teams. They could make the finals and then still not win one because that's just what they've done lately. Or they could finish 12th. We don't know. So we'll also have to wait and see.
I don't know. I feel like, Dodoro's undefeated run is the greatest off-season mastermind of all time.
Yeah.
Being challenged. And so we've gone digging, we've gone spudding, now we're talking dealing. It's Melbourne.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Why, obviously?
Yeah. No comment.
Why? Oh, well, Stasso doesn't want to incriminate himself, apparently. But Joel Smith, obviously some off-season problems. Jeez. Tell you that, what, under investigation. The biggest thing, though, for me, for Melbourne, is they lose a couple of dudes in their midfield because they're like, we've got heaps of depth. We've got a lot of veterans in the team. So you got Jordan and Harms bouncing, right?
Yeah, which are big ass, yeah.
And then
Especially Jordan.
they lose Angus Brayshaw to a very, very sad medical retirement, which prompted him and Gorney to have a bit of a cry. Bit of a cry over a bottle of Grange.
That's nice, isn't it? Did they do a live podcast?
Can you get me a bottle of Grange?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. This was like one of the weirdest stories. I'm like, me and Gus just sat down and had a bit of a cry.
That's all right.
Over a bottle of Grange. It's like, what? Did you drive your Range Rovers there as well, Melbourne?
They had some
Bloody
nice cheese
demons, I'll
boards
tell
or
you.
something.
But you've also Clayton Oliver. We've also just gotten
We don't know what's going on.
how many off-season stories do we have with Clayton Oliver?
Oh.
There was the trade period. There was
Old videos coming out.
coming out of him
Jeez.
just kicking holes
Him
in
going to
balls.
hospital.
Him got to hospital randomly, but apparently he was all good. He just needed to go to hospital quickly. Yeah,
He had a seizure.
Who hasn't
Yeah.
been dehydrated?
yeah, that was. Yeah,
It stinks. And this is the weird thing I think about Melbourne is that they've talked about this culture and then, the culture's fine. It's like, is it? Is it?
Yeah.
You've got Petrarca at least, as a TikTok superstar, IG superstar. It all checks
TikTok.
out. Amazing chef. Don't get me wrong.
he's great. Yeah,
Great midfielder too.
Great.
I'm not sure about his leadership.
Yeah. I don't think it's him and Gorn's fault. I think there was a thing that came in the other week saying Gorn's captaincy's getting let down by some idiot players. Yeah. It is, because I don't think Gorn's like a horrible captain. I just think there's just some idiots that they've sort of kept around, like Clayton Oliver and things like that. Yeah.
My point is the culture, I think, around Melbourne. When you talk about this and talk about the off-season vibes that we've gotten, it just seems like nothing's changed. It just sort of seems they just lunge from like travesty to travesty.
Yeah.
Just they do, like there's a lever fight. There's just all this.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, yeah.
Just
Stephen
like all
May
this,
back in the day.
Stephen May, just all these weird
Yeah.
sort of things, just time and time again.
Jake Malcolm.
Melksham just going, what am I doing? Bang. Where we go. All right. What was the worst off-season storyline though, Leo?
Just anyone training the house down. I'm sick of it.
Training the house down.
House being trained down.
How's that a worse off-season story? It's
No, I
he's
agree
training
with
the
that.
house down. That's good.
No, I agree
I'm
with
just
that.
sick of it.
Apparently
Everyone's
everyone
doing
is.
it.
I agree with that.
So why isn't everyone good? Everyone's training the house
they're
down.
training the house down.
They're just doing their jobs. Are we training the house down doing this podcast right
I think
now?
we are. I think we are.
Right now.
Yeah.
I think the idea of training the house down is ridiculous because
is,
like
yeah.
you're literally practicing.
That's your job.
And you're in a field. Where's the house?
There's no house. You're practicing. You're literally practicing to be good at your job.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, all deux. Like, there we go. All deux. We're there. Training the house down. Stats boy.
Dimmer and the Suns being overhyped. Anything that comes out of Dimmer's mouth, it's like it's God preaching or Jesus preaching. It's very weird, and I feel like they get a headline out of anything he says. It annoys me because the Suns are going to be. I was going to say something else, but they're not going to be very good. They're not going to be very good. I think they don't have enough star players to be very good. Dimmer I think, is a very good coach, but you don't have to say everything he says has to be. Yeah, religious or something. Everyone's like, oh my God, Dimmer.
He was overhyping Sexton, the guy that, does nothing in the forward
Exactly.
line. And he's putting him at halfback thinking he's going to be this absolute savior.
I've got sucked in by that one actually because it's in my
Well, I've got
side.
sucked in too, but like, it's 133,000.
Yeah, I just think everything that Dimmer's said in the offseason, they're talking up way too much.
If only you had some sort of multi-premiership winning coach who could say something and people fall over themselves to report it.
Oh, yeah, Clarko's a better coach than Dimmer, but yeah. That's
3 to 4.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Was it 4 that the Hawks got?
4, yeah.
I don't know. It's
Hawks had
pretty
a better
interesting.
team. There's a whole argument there. That's a whole different.
Mate, Hawks would smoke.
But Dimmer won a lot of premierships. What he says matters. It's like, all right.
I think he's a good coach. I just think, everyone's getting a bit too excited about the Suns when they're
I just love the simple idea that everyone's like, Dimmer, he said this for Gold Coast. It's amazing. It's like, the dude quit halfway
Exactly,
through.
it
Like,
was
he's like, what's this? Coaching's hard.
Oh,
I'm
God,
outta
get
here.
some sun,
I need a break. It's like, 1 month later, he's like, how much are they going to pay me?
Yeah. It's a sun
How
out
much?
there.
Did that have a 7 in front of it? Ooh. Yeah.
And then he's like,
I've had enough of a break. I'm back.
Don't have to play at Marvel. He's loving it.
That's great. Good on you, Dimmer. The worst off-season story for Lima was literally anything to do with Clayton Oliver for me.
Fair enough. I think, we can all agree on that one.
Just weird and gross. 3 teams to flip the script a little bit.
Yep.
Who are we excited to see this year? 3 teams we're excited to watch because everybody's training the house down.
Apparently.
Everybody looks incredible, apart from my beloved Carlton in the preseason game against Melbourne. That was a tough
preseason.
one. It's all right. We also got smashed, but this is why I don't put much stock in preseason games.
If they won, we're going to win the flag.
To be honest, when I was like about 8, maybe 7 or 8, Carlton lost to Hawthorn in a preseason Wizard Cup game.
Oh, bring it
I was
back.
in tears. That's how much I cared. I learned very quickly from that day onward to not care about preseason. To the point where my mum and dad were just like, what are you crying about? It's preseason. I'm like, you don't understand.
It's the Blues.
Even Craig Bradley's like, what is Jim doing? Through the TV. Anyway, but 3 teams we're excited to watch. The weirdest part for me is I wrote these down right off the top of my head and then wrote WTF straight after.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm like, Gold Coast. For the simple fact, you've actually got a real coach now.
Yep. Fair.
It's a bit harsh on Stewie, dude.
Take that, Stewie Duke. Juice, again, Stewie Duke. Oh, we all love Stewie Duke. Horrible coach, though.
Yeah.
We're not going to say that out loud, bro. Oh,
No, because he's just a good bloke.
He's a great
Yeah,
bloke.
he's a good bloke.
I love how AFL media just loves to do that thing. And Dimmer, great bloke. Ask his ex-missus. But anyway, if we're going to talk about it, Gold Coast, I'm very excited to see how they roll.
Yes.
Because to have an actual proper, much ballyhooed coach come in and go, we're going to change everything. You can't change everything in 1 year, but you can get vaguely competent in a year.
They need to change as well. They were so close to finals so
Play
many
a final.
years. Yeah.
Play a final. That's all we ask.
Yep.
Sydney and Adelaide are the other 2. Sydney, obviously, because we've just talked about them, right?
Yep.
Everyone's on the hype train. They brought in what? Brody Grundy, Taylor Adams.
Jordan is a good pickup.
James Jordan.
It's like they just have so much more depth now. Like Luke Parker broke his arm.
And we're not
And everyone's
really
like,
worried about them getting worse.
Fine.
No, which
It
in the
just
past
means that Errol Gordon, whoa, Errol can just do his own thing even more.
Yeah.
Like, it's great. So I think they're missing Callum Mills, though, for a chunk of the season, right? And you've got Chad Chunley-Water. He's fine. He's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm
They
just
got a
here
great
for
team.
Errol. I'm all about the Errol.
Get around Errol.
And then, of course, Adelaide. They were the Bolters last year. They should have played finals. We all know that.
Yeah, robbed.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to watch them just because we talked about this at the start of last season. Are they old or are they young? We're not entirely sure. They middled it.
Yeah.
They got great. Yeah.
Somehow middled it.
Yeah.
They had the veterans, they had the young dudes. They all sort of met in the middle and they were almost unbeatable there at Adelaide Oval. They looked fantastic. Are they going to be the team that takes that step up or do they just plummet? I'm fascinated to find out. Like Adelaide are a really strange team for that simple fact for me.
Yep.
The weirdest part is none of those teams from Victoria.
Yeah, that's rare, isn't it? It's
bizarre.
Some of these type of things.
Stats boy.
Adelaide as well. You just touched on it, but I love their forward line. You got Tex. You got so many young guys that are going to crumb to Tex. Tex still one of the best kicks in the comp. I know he's getting older. He wants to win that Coleman. I don't know if it will be next year because there's a lot of good forwards, but I think their forward line and their midfield is so exciting.
Charlie Curnow.
Let's go. I don't know if you want to talk them up, but Carlton. I'm going to talk about the Blues.
Flaggers.
I don't know about Flaggers, but I am excited to watch them just because they've got awesome forward line. I just like watching Harry Mackay either way. He's either going to kick a really cool goal.
I think
or
you're the
kick it
only one out
floor.
there that likes watching Harry
No, I like
Mackay.
watching Harry Mackay because you either have a laugh or you go, that was a really good goal.
No, I
Like,
think you just go, you're not very good at kicking the football.
Well, I don't know. I don't mind watching Harry Mackay.
Harry Mackay is like watching my 5-year-old kick a footy. It's like, hey, you got it! Hey, you kicked it! Nice one! The other time it's like just thrown it 2 meters forward in front of him and his leg's over here. And you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that is a great comparison right there.
What is happening? But when he actually connects, everyone's just so, oh, he did a great job.
Yeah.
Amazing gear. Oh, he's so special. That's great.
That's my point. Either way, you're going to have an entertaining watch with Carlton's forward line, and their midfield's really exciting. And then GWS, I think they can take that, or maybe not next step because they were really good, but they just were really exciting to watch second half of last season. I think a lot
That
of
is
their
an
young
interesting
guys.
next step, considering they made a
That's why
prelim,
I took that back as I was saying it a little bit because I forgot they did make a prelim. But they've got so many young guys, and Toby Green I think is my favourite player to watch in the comp. So that's why I would say GWS.
Nice one, Leo.
Yeah, as you touched on Adelaide for the reasons you stated, their forward line is incredibly
Have we
exciting.
all gone
We've all gone
Adelaide?
We've all
I think
gone
they just-
Adelaide.
'cause at home,
I
they're
am
so
worried about
exciting.
their back line, but I think they're exciting because they just score.
Yeah.
And like that makes a game more entertaining.
Yeah,
I
when
reckon-
they're on, they're the most exciting team.
Maybe
in the comp, basically,
other than
right?
Brisbane, I reckon they'll be the highest scoring home
I'm
team.
actually surprised no one's gone Brisbane.
I'm just sick of Brisbane because we've had the same thing for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Also, GWS, their back half of last season
awesome,
was insane.
Big
Like
South.
they were the team to watch. They've got a great crop of youngsters and great depth too. So I'm
My
really
question for
looking forward to them.
GWS was continue to be, was it a dead coach bounce?
That was a long
When they
bounce.
go to Kingsley and then it's like everyone's playing for their job, essentially, for the next season, and they were awesome. Like, they unshackled Caniglio and Co. Off they went.
Finally
they
back
were
in the
awesome.
midfield, yeah.
I don't know. Do they sort of bounce back to earth? That's going to be the weird one for GWS.
I reckon they're all better. They're just intimidated by Kingsley's guns. They're just
Yeah,
like,
that's
crap,
fair,
we
actually.
better do well. As he's going to get us in a
He
headlock.
might choke us out.
Yeah,
Like
He's-
the old Harley Reid Telescope.
yeah. That storyline never gets old. Who's
And
your
then
third one?
their last team is Sydney. I just think the recruits they've brought in, like
We're just talking about the same teams.
Exactly.
Oh, I talked about Carlton. No, that was a bit different.
How did nobody say North?
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, but Sydney.
Sydney, yeah, I just think great crop of youngsters too, great depth. Grundy's going to be the recruit of the season. Well, it's shaping that way anyway. James Jordan will play a role.
Yep.
Errol's a star. Chad's a star. And then you've got the 3 key forwards. It's a great list.
Definitely.
It's a weird one. I'm fascinated by that Sydney team. They look almost too good.
Oh.
Who are the breakout candidates we're going to look at for this year in terms of literally who is this year's Whoa Errol? I've got the Warlord.
Oh,
George
my
Wardlaw.
new favourite player. Wardlaw.
Did you become his personal sponsor this year, Stats Guy?
I would. I think, yeah, there was a big line. To
Are
get
you
that.
old enough to adopt?
I
That's
don't know.
my question.
If he's pretty much similar age to me, that'd be
He's
weird.
not the similar age. He's like 7 years younger.
7. Gee, no, he's not.
Well,
he is.
He probably is, actually. Yeah.
Point
didn't
being,
think about
I think he's one of those dudes who is very, very clearly primed to take a, big leap
yeah.
to the point where he played few enough games last year to still be eligible for this year's Rising Star. I think he's the sort of dude who can just add a real chunk of grunt oomph.
That's what we need.
Class
Yeah.
to the Kangaroos midfield backline, wherever they play, right? They're playing
They'll play midfield. They'll play
midfield.
midfield.
He was coming off the half-back flank for a big chunk of last year.
A little bit, but
Come on.
mainly 90% midfield, yeah.
Fix it, Clarko. Go on. Jeez. Come on. Leo, who do you like?
I've gone a bit different. Sean Manor for the
Ooh.
Cats. So he's at Werribee VFL.
So Manor
last
from
season.
Werribee.
Manor from Werribee. So he has to play first. So that's my worry. But I think he's got all the tools to excel at this level. He's quick. He's fast. Kicks goals. He kicked 6 goals and 28 disposals in the VFL Grand Final.
Yeah.
He's an
Yeah.
absolute
Bit of an X
star.
factor, yeah.
If he
How
plays,
old is he?
I think he's like 26, 27.
Let's have a look.
They've got a new pods.
Yeah.
New pods. Let's go.
26.
Hey,
He's a little
babe, wake
smaller.
up. New pods just dropped.
New Ponzi Hadley. He's a bit younger than
He's
than the
and he's a little smaller.
Yeah.
He's not as tall.
I just love the idea of me waking up old mate to go, new pods just dropped. She's like, what are you doing?
What are you talking about?
Stats boy.
I got to go NWM, Nazaya Wangadeen Miller. Oh, everyone knows NWM. No, not just in Supercoach. I think he's a great pick in that. But yeah, I think he really went up in how many touches he gets last year.
Yeah.
But I think this year, I think he averaged about 23 touches last year. I think he can get that up closer to 30. But not even just the amount of touches he's going to get. I think he's going to have more impact on the game, a bit more confidence like he had the second half of last year. First half of last year was sort of that guy that would just chip it around the back and you're going, he's just getting the cheap touches for people's multis. That's all he was doing. But
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'm saying as in for people to recognize him a little bit more as a really gun player, I think he's going to rebound off half back. You got Clark and Sinclair might be out for the start of the season. They're trying to get back from injury, who are sort of their other rebound guys out of the midfield and half back. So I think NWM is going to have a really good year.
NWM. All right. The lid's off. 3 teams with the most outsized expectations to where I think they land.
Oh, here we go.
North. I just love this.
Is there outsized expectations?
I think there is outsized expectations if you expect your coach to actually coach more than 3 games.
Well, yeah, if he hangs around the whole season, that'd be nice.
NBA finals are beckoning. You've got the playoffs. The Warriors will be right there.
He does like Gold America.
Might be one of the last runs for Steph, Clay, and Draymond for the Warriors. We all know that Clarko's best mates with Steve Kerr. Oh yeah, sorry boys. What is it, mate? Yeah, I've got stuff. Personal reasons. I'm going to the States to watch some basketball.
He did do that, yeah.
Did it last year. He do it again. Brett Ratton's like, come on, man.
I don't blame him. The NBA finals pretty cool.
They are great. But I think the outside expectations for North, like after the Collingwood win, like the explosion of North ball, very weird. But seriously, just win more than 4 games and like everyone will be happy, right?
Yeah,
like,
no one's rooting against us.
The outside expectations is like actually being vaguely competent. So good luck to you, North. Richmond, we can make the finals. Oh, are you?
Nope.
Leo is very against that, yeah.
They could be based on literally anyone you talk to, they could be a top 4 team, they could be a bottom 4 team.
Who's saying they're going to be top 4?
Richmond fans.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So the point being, good luck with both sides. Like, I think they could easily be one of the worst teams in the AFL out of... You cop one more injury to Tom Lynch, it could be all over a Red Rover again. Like last year, they're moving Dusty to the midfield. Who knows how long he'll last? He pings another hammy in round 3. Boom, he's gone for another 14 weeks. Who knows what's going to happen? I just don't know. Like, they could also be good. They could be just that sheer competent of a bunch of veterans playing together still.
Possibly.
Maybe. But I just don't trust that back line. I think it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
And then the lid's off. Flaggers.
Oh, he said it. That means they're not going to win the flag.
Bit more energy, Jim. Bit more energy.
Come on, Carlton.
I hate it. I don't like expectations for my beloved Carlton.
Carlton are crap. They all hate it. And then Carlton are good. Oh, we hate it even more because there's expectations.
Just want to make the 8 again. Just want to make
Well, I think they should be aspiring for top 4. With that list, the way they're...
You want to make top 4?
Yeah.
But you just want to make the 8.
Of course you want to make the 8 first, but once you see the first half of the season that hopefully is different to the first half of last season, you'll be like, oh, as long as you're like decently in the 8 for that whole time, you're like, all right, we can make top 4.
It's a weird one because I think I've talked about this at length with you both, gentlemen. The simple idea that Carlton has a half decent-ish kind of spine now, but injuries already this year, whether it be, I don't know, Wiedering being out. We've also already got, Zach Williams sort of being in and out of the side. It's like if he's actually there and a bit of an X factor, we're laughing. But the biggest thing for me is Jack Martin came into the team for the Essendon game last year, turned this season around.
He did,
because he basically just gave them like a vaguely more reliable third option up front that wasn't named Jack Silvani. God bless you. God bless his soul.
What happened to Jack Silvani?
He died in that grease
Couldn't
fire.
even say it with a straight face.
But Jack Martin is the difference maker for me. So obviously Sam Walsh had the back injury as well.
So that's a big out if he's out.
Even if he's questionable for like parts of the year, it's like
get him in.
It sucks. So I don't know, but Chera was fantastic. You've got dudes like Matt Kennedy and stuff like that who can sort of fill in. George Hewitt, they've just got depth, but it is a very specific sort of depth where they get rid of Zach Fisher and co through the offseason because they've got too many dudes. Paddy Dow. Like dudes like that. It's like you have too much redundancy sort of built in. But sometimes that redundancy is really good. You get rid of that, you're suddenly like, all right, our next replacement player below that guy is not that good.
Yeah,
so
I'll give you that.
It gets a bit tougher. So the lid's off. I don't know if it should be that far off.
It's a semi-lifted lid.
Shimmy. Why I can't stand. Who can you not stand? What can't you stand? Let's go with you, Leo.
I cannot stand pre-season injuries, whether it's for SuperCoach, but mainly for my beloved Hawks. We are just absolutely decimated down back.
Do you have a backline? Yeah.
No, we don't. We don't have no Blank, no Jath, no Dylan Moore, no Will Day. We're in some strife.
Dylan Moore is a massive outlier.
And it all happened in the space of 3 hours. I think.
Oh, that's not great. I hate to say that. And you obviously had Luke Parker from the Swans we already talked about. Just get rid of preseason games so that no one can get injured. What about that?
This is the thing. They did that in the NFL, right? They just went, right, preseason stinks because everyone gets hurt and someone always does an ACL. Let's just do 3 preseason games where the starters only play basically a half in those 3 weeks.
That's a good idea.
And then the first month of the season turns into the preseason.
Yeah, like it's not as good standard.
And the football stinks.
True.
It's a bit tough. You got to try to hit that middle ground. It's quite difficult, clearly. But I think we've seen a fair whack of them. But I feel like you and your beloved Hawthorn have been almost unfairly targeted by the injury gods.
Well, last year we had a good run, so I think the footy gods have just looked down and been like,
they didn't get injuries.
We'll just pile it all on you this
It's all right. You've still got John Newcomb's hair.
Yes.
It's all right.
I don't know if his hair is his best feature.
Oh, what is?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful face.
I'm going Sam McClure, changing his mind 100 times about the premiership winner this year.
Yeah, that's a great
I don't know what's going on with Sam McClure. He said, first of all, Carlton, he's a Carlton supporter, very biased Carlton supporter. He said, Carlton are premiership favourites by an absolute mile. Then he changed his mind about 3 times to Collingwood.
That doesn't sound like an actual Carlton supporter to me.
I know. He's the first Carlton supporter to come out and say that.
What are we doing?
And then he said a few other teams, and then he's gone back to Collingwood. Then he went back to Carlton. Now he's saying Collingwood and Port Adelaide are going to be in the grand final. But how then Carlton, the premiership favourites? I don't know. I just don't like when people are changing their mind that much.
Well, he's got a head the size of Saturn's moon. So maybe he's just got so many thoughts rattling around.
He probably does.
The next one that comes in front of his eyes in the orbit's like, oh, that's one. That's what I'm going to talk about now.
Possibly.
Jeez, he's got the bonce the size of a Buick on him.
Oh, what can't you stand, Jim?
Why I can't stand? I'll tell you what. List with 50 players in them.
Oh.
50. Here's my top 50. You know what? 50 is not enough.
What would you do?
That's my point. It's not enough anymore. Give me 100. Go 100.
They usually do that at the end of every season.
What are you doing? 50. Oh, here's the top 50. Don't care. This is the deepest the AFL has been, maybe ever. We have 18 teams of. You look around it, you go, West Coast, they can't field a proper team. They still have really quality players on that list.
Yeah.
The same thing goes for your beloved North Melbourne stats boy.
Yeah, we got a few good players.
You got some dudes who are really good.
Yeah.
I love watching Slevo.
Yeah.
The dude's incredible.
Really?
He does some chaos stuff. You're like,
Does
this
he?
dude sucks, but look at him go. He's wearing sleeves.
He just likes it because he's got the
sleeves.
hoop sleeves. Yeah,
I love a
they
good
look
hoop
good.
sleeve. But seriously, I think list with 50 on them, it's not enough anymore. It's irrelevant. We're past it. It's gone 100. 75 at the very least. That's what I want. Why I can't stand Sam Powell Pepper.
Oh, we can all put
Grow up.
Yeah.
Grow up. Don't go for the head.
Go the ball, mate.
What are you doing?
Go the ball.
You bald badger booger head. That was ridiculous. You lined him up. You went bang. Got rubbed out 4 weeks. That's what you get. You idiot. I'm sick of it.
You should have been in the tribunal and just said that. That would have been amazing.
No one's saying that I wasn't. Surprise witness, Jim.
I saw
Just
it.
me berating
I saw it on my couch with my dog.
And of course, the last thing I can't stand is North Ball.
Oh.
North Ball. We're playing North Ball. That's a direction. It's not a style of game. North Ball. We can come up with better. Roo Ball.
Roo ball is
Kanga
good.
ball.
No, cheese ball.
Clarko Ball.
Cheese ball, sure.
Cheese Ball's pretty good.
Cheese ball is great.
But seriously, North Ball is literally the worst option we could have come up with for something that doesn't even exist yet. But seriously, the people follow. Oh, what's that over? They're playing a type of game. North Ball, North Ball. We took it so far, so quickly. It was ridiculous. We didn't stop to think about what we could call it.
I reckon it was a mastermind by Clarko just
Clarko
to get
ball.
look away from all the bad stuff.
It's
Just think
Clarko
about
ball.
North ball, yeah.
It's Clarko Ball, Kanga Ball, it's Roo Ball. I don't care. Nothing. Anything except for a North Ball. That was horrible. All right, biggest preseason / summer call, Leo. What are you thinking? We're going into the season. What is your biggest call?
North Melbourne will finish above Richmond. Mark my words. It will
Wow.
happen. Richmond will be terrible this season. North will finish 16th and Richmond will finish 17th.
Dustin Martin just punched a hole in a car window when he heard that. So
I don't think Dustin
he's a
Martin,
big listener.
I don't think he knows what a podcast is.
Whoa.
Sure he does.
He has never been on one because he doesn't like all that. Yeah, you're right. I don't know about that. I think North still got a year or two to go. Maybe in a couple of years we might be above.
I still got you 16th.
Yeah, I know. But do you think? Oh, that's crazy. So you
Leo
think
liked that one,
Hawks are
too.
better than Richmond, obviously, as well, in your opinion?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
All
I
right,
think Richmond are in for a terrible year.
clearly. Stats boy, what do you
I'm
like?
going to go the opposite, a bit more positive. Adelaide top 4. I think they were absolutely robbed to not make finals last year. Obviously, you got the decision review that went against Sydney that they should have easily made the finals, I think. And they lost so many close games.
They wouldn't have easily made the finals. They
should have made the finals, not easily. You're right. They had a lot of really close games. I think that a lot of young guys just didn't. They were up by 30 points in I think at least 3 or 4 games last year, and they crumbled. So I think those type of games they will definitely. Oh, not definitely. I need to stop saying definitely.
These are big calls, so you should be saying definitely.
They will
but still.
definitely go better than last year and win some of those games. I think they've got a much more mature squad. Even Rankin, like the likes of him, I think he can definitely lift. Thrillthorpe, who we love on this podcast. Rashali as well. Their forward line, I think, can lift, kick less points.
You have not somehow managed the fan favourite.
Lukey Pedlar, because he doesn't get picked every week, but even though he should. I think
this season.
Adelaide top 4, I did a bit of a prediction, and I think they'll be around that 4th, 5th, 6th, but I'm going to go Adelaide top 4. That's my big call.
So is there a
4th,
specific
6th.
reason behind that?
Because I think they've got a decently easy draw.
Use your stats boy.
I don't have any stats for this one, but
Yes, you do, because in the last 10 years, what has happened?
Sorry, I've completely forgot about that.
What has happened to a team?
You're right. Sorry, you're right. That is a great stat.
To land in the top 4.
That's right. So the last 10 years, a team that was 9th or lower the year before has finished in the top 4. And this year, I think that's going to be Adelaide. There we go.
That guy's just going away from the
I
stats.
completely forgot about that stat, and I've even got it written down here. But
You
that's
got
all right.
too excited.
I got too excited about Adelaide top 4 because
He's like North above Richmond. He's completely thrown.
But yeah, I don't think that stat
Just
is
wait till
gonna...
he hears mine.
Yeah, I'm nervous. Yeah, but I don't think that stat's going to go away this year because I think Adelaide are going to jump into that top 4.
It's a tricky one because like when you talk about top 4 predictions and like who can jump up, it gets really hard really quickly, right? Because you have so much parity, I think, in the AFL, and we've had it probably for the last, decade?
Yep.
Where you have teams sort of moving in waves almost, right? And then, someone will sort of come up from out of nowhere, make that top 4, out of the top 9, and then you have teams that are just sort of almost like bolted into the top 4.
Yeah.
And like that's happened. We've seen it with Brisbane and Melbourne and go like the last few years, obviously Collingwood, but even Collingwood were bottom of the, basically bottom of the ladder, like
then they went into the top 4
3 years ago. So it's very weird. My big preseason prediction, the summer call, the big summer call, the Suvlaki King.
Here we
the
go.
big Suva. They call him Nick Suvlaki for a reason because he's a big man who can kick a big snag. We're going a ton.
A ton.
He's going to ton, the Suva. He doesn't miss. He's now got an actual coach who's going to pay attention. Maybe this year. Perhaps. If Clarko doesn't just go,
NBA Finals.
Rat, you're up.
You do know Ratton's at Hawthorn.
I know, he moved, but still, he's just going to get a call.
He's going to call him, yeah.
He's like, I'm going to go back. Clarko, tap me on the shoulder. But Suva boots a ton. I love it.
a lot
Jeremy
of goals.
Cameron was on track last year. Suva
In like 8 rounds.
Suva is absolutely he's so much more of a deadeye than Jezza.
He is the best kick in the comp.
With a slight uptick in delivery. Who knows what could happen? We're going the Suva. And there's an honourable mention. Essendon. I don't know. If we start 0-5, Bombers fans, at what point do you go, Brad Scott's got to go?
Oh, I reckon that's harsh.
0-6? 0-7?
0-8.
0-8 is where the questions start going. Yeah, Brad Scott might have been a bit of a bad call. I know that you love him, Stats Boy, because he took your beloved Kangaroos to 2 prelims and lost them.
We did lose the prelims, but we had a very average team to make those prelim finals when no one thought we were even going to make it. I think he was a good coach then. I don't know if he's suited to Essendon. We'll have to wait and see on that one, but I don't think he's a bad coach at all. If something does happen with Essendon, I think it's some of the players are a bit soft. So
I just don't like how they dropped off in dramatic fashion last year. It's like literally Carlton and Essendon Freaky Friday themselves in the King's birthday clash. They went and found a fountain out the front of the MCG and peed in it and changed powers and got good and bad at the same time.
I think that was just you.
Might have been me and the squid, actually. We might have just peed in the water. Anyway. SuperCoach!
Yes.
Let's do it. Are you all fired up for SuperCoach? You can check out Leo's
SuperCoach team
selector on the socials. That'd be fun. But we're not going to do too much about the actual SuperCoach stuff because we literally have SuperCoach shows for that here at News. So SuperCoach setup, however, it's already chaos because you look at the players that you even vaguely have available in your forward line.
Oh, it's tough.
We did toss this one around. Could you just go flat out rookies in your forward line? Could you go flat out Nat Fife, mid-prices and rookies in your forward line?
You could.
Because the rest of it sucks.
Yep.
Like midfield defenders, awesome. You can load up on your primos.
Yeah.
You got some nice rookies in there as well because we've really got an awesome draft class clear this year. But up forward, it's a barren wasteland.
Yeah, you can fit Harley Reid in there. I think it's up to 70 or 80%. Everyone's got Harley Reid because he's obviously going to be choking out Oscar Allen a bit and fired up for that Eagles side.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now vibes. But yeah, the rest of the forward, I think I've only got one or two guys over that 230,000. But they're only about 240, 250 because I don't trust anyone in that forward. You got McRae. He's out of the leadership of the Dogs. He's a bit injured as well.
Back at full training.
Which is good. But there's a bit of concern about him. There's always concern about Dusty's fitness. There's always concern about Fife's fitness. You're not getting hyped up about Fife yet, are you?
Nah, because
everyone always gets hyped up about Fife.
I jumped on him last year and he just got injured almost immediately.
Exactly.
So I think I'm on the Flanders train.
Oh yeah, Dimmer. That's one player that Dimmer talked up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sam Flanders.
I got a bit of time. Sexy Flanders.
How'd he do?
Stupid sexy Flanders. The other one I thought about was obviously Luke Jackson, right? It's like your ruck
Sneaky
forward
one,
cover.
yeah.
It just depends on like how much Sean Darcy we see as well, right?
Yeah, big Shrek.
Outside of that, Luke Jackson, kind of like an interesting vibe, but I don't know. I'm still not convinced he's that good at football. So
Yeah, I agree.
it's a big thing. But of course, round 0 doesn't count
No,
for your overall scores. It does count for the individual players
with the prices,
for their prices,
Which
in
is
SuperCoach,
interesting,
but
yeah.
it doesn't actually count in terms of actual scoring. So it's an interesting one. So those players overall count for your scoring one less game than everybody else. Pretty weird. We're obviously going to be very creative in the forward line. It's a weird year for SuperCoach in that regard. The good thing is
Rucks.
Grandy's back.
Grandy or Gaundy, whatever you want to call it.
Grandy. I love it.
Grandy's probably better.
Let's go Grandy. Maxi Gawn and Brody Grundy. They didn't work together. With your powers combined, we both suck.
Yeah,
that's what happened last year. This year,
Bang on.
we now got Grundy up in Sydney. You got Gawn just demolish-rating Carlton. Are you feeling just like lock and load with that?
I think so, yeah. I think I'm definitely going to do that.
Because Tinglish is also like wildly
He's
overpriced.
expensive.
If he was a little bit cheaper, I think Tinglish is the best SuperCoach pick, but just because he's like an extra midfielder more so than.
Oh, and he's
Grundy.
great when he takes kick-ins too.
Yeah, except when he takes kick-ins. That was really dumb.
What are you talking about? He's great.
Cost them the game against your Hawks.
Yeah, I mean, I
You were
was
happy with
in
that?
favour of it.
But yeah, this
Cost
year,
him a game, cost him basically final seeding, and away you go.
I think lots of people still don't mind Jared Witts, but I think Grundy especially, because he was playing VFL, he's under 500k, probably for the first time in about 10 years.
Delish.
Gawn is like under 600k, which is even rarer. So I think you got to pick both of them. Really cheap for the two best ruckmen in the comp.
Lock and load for me.
Yeah.
Lock and load.
Definitely.
All right, that's it for the first episode of AFL Today. For today. I guess today. We might be back tomorrow. No, we won't be back tomorrow. But we do have over-unders coming up as well. We're talking every single team, over-under their win totals, all the good stuff. A really big deep dive into our predictions for the season coming up as well. So thank you, Stats Boy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leo.
Cheers, Jim.
This has been very fun talking footy because you know what? Footy's back! And I'm very excited, clearly. Smash a like across all of our socials because we'll be doing plenty of stuff throughout the season. Filling in all your footy gaps throughout your week. Monday,
Absolutely.
Tuesday, Wednesday,
Anything you want.
Thursday, Friday, everything. Facey, IG, X, Threads, TikTok, of course, YouTube, all the fun stuff there. And subscribe, like, and share all of our shows on your podcast apps. That's right. There are many of them. I'm not going to list them all. But our shows, Cricket Today, Football Today, NBA Australia, NFL Australia, there will be an NRL Today, hopefully at some point as well. So check it all out. Get around them like Tony Plugger Locker getting around that all-you-can-eat pizza buffet in Ballarat where he deleted a pizza in less than 5 minutes.
I feel like you're the only one who saw him there, but yeah. That's a segment we could do. Which AFL player did you see in the wild demolishing some food? Like Fraser Gehrig demolishing that pie last year at Marvel Stadium.
Not bad. Leo? You got nothing.
That was an extra segment I threw in there. That was about lucky.
I think that Leo just got so hammered running around gather around last night. It's like, I don't even know what's happening and away he went. But either way, that is it. Thank you for tuning in for a bit of AFL Today. We'll be back for more AFL Today very, very soon. So until then, look after yourselves and guess what? Footy's back.